Is there some tension brewing in the house between the parent and the adult child? Here I mean adult is beyond 18 till 22, 23, 25, maybe 30 as well. Hello there, I'm Tulika B. Mukherjee, your personality development master in your personality and you. And today I'm back with a new topic, though not so new, because in the previous one we did discuss about parents and then young ones, just the teens or going to their adulthood. Now I again chose this topic. Why? Because one of my viewers did sent me a message, and she wanted me to discuss some topics, as in she had some problems with elder children. Elder, I mean the ones who are quite big and who have crossed their 18s. So it is I think the parents and the children's relationship is the most beautiful relationship that is actually present on this planet. And it's a beautiful relationship. We all know about it. The most beautiful as compared to any relationship that is there on our planet now. But along with this beautiful relationship comes lots of irritation and interpersonal problems, then ambivalence, tension, and so many things all together. And we do assume that these are small children of ours, and as we are helping them grow, they will be growing to be beautiful children and will be understanding our problems. As parents we think that, but it is not always so. See, as parents we do make mistakes. Parents are not perfect, and please don't think about being a perfectionist, because always trying for the perfectionist won't help for your child. So let's discuss some problems. In this episode of mine, I'll be discussing few problems. As a matter of fact, there are n number of problems that are pertaining between the relationship that the parents have with their kids who are already grown up. Okay, but here I'm going to share a few problems that are pertaining there, and in my next episode I'll be coming up with some solutions of that. So please watch that as well. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to share with you is the perception that we have. See, this again is the thing that we should always think of is what is the problem. The problem is the perception that we have. My perception is different from the perception that my husband will be having or my child. So the perception matters a lot. Now, the perception differs as well as you can say it differs from person to person, even in generations to come. Like if we talk about me and my son, definitely the perception is differing, and then comes the gender as well as the age. So perception changes both gender wise, age wise, as well as the generation wise. For instance, if we talk about the generation, in our generation, have you ever thought of taking a night out? I don't think so. My mother never allowed us. But in this generation, children do come up with that thought. Now it's your family. You are the person who's to decide whether you are letting your child go out for that night out thing or something like that. I remember during our period we used to have those combined studies, and yes, my mother would be very particular about things that the light goes on and you have to come. Street lights were our alarm system. Yeah, I'm sure most of you must be correlating with things. But nowadays, due to the perception problem, what happens is there are rifts between mother-daughter, then father-son, and vice versa also. Sometimes the mother-daughter's tension is big enough, and what happens is that because of this difference in perception, how we take the things end up into bigger, huge conflicts in the family. And I think here perception shouldn't be as big as the importance of the family system. We in India have a very close-knit family, and that has to be kept into account. See, we do have like that patthar ki lakeer sort of thing, but in family, that patthar ki lakeer should not have any space. once you said, there should be flexibility as well. Okay, now the second thing is having less of communication, and that has been a very important part in any of the relationship we know. Okay, we want to communicate, because only those relationships suffer who do not communicate. So, be it whatever type of a relationship you are into, communication is a must. So, see to it that your child may be a big boy now or a girl, but the communication should be a very, very strong one. Talk to the child, talk about the day that they had, or maybe when the child is here at home. And this is a major thing that do people discuss it, is that child is not allowed to leave the house. I think that is we can understand as mothers. But the thing is that children are also, it's very the problem is really big. We ourselves are bugged up, in the house. So definitely children must be suffering, and when they are already grown up, they want to meet friends, and definitely there are relationships that they are building outside, and that is a very good thing. That shouldn't be taken negatively. Okay, so here I would come up with that please try to maintain communication with your children, be it a normal talk or a long one, prolonged one, but keep talking. Be it a simple one, let's discuss the day, or let's make a to-do list, simple as that, but please do communicate with your kids. Now the third one is the affective solidarity. This is a big thing which all of us have in the house, and that is something very positive sentiment between the family members, affection, lots of closeness, emotional attachment, trust, respect, faith. Oh my god, so many beautiful words are there in affective solidarity. Yes, but this can grow into a big problem. When your child, be it your daughter or your boy, is into a relationship outside the house, what happens is we feel that strange insecurity, that oh my god, my child is going, he will be leaving me soon. Why so insecure? I think we all are living our lives, and this is the time when we should grow up. It is not that we should expect the child should understand things. When the child was born and the first time you took your child in your arms, the child is still that's younger to you. The age gap is still there. So I think you should understand that you are the one who has to understand and tackle things, instead of the child doing all those stuff, right? So please for the family, take efforts to maintain that affective solidarity. But at the very same time, I would tell you that parents always, don't adhere by keeping things very rigid, because we had been a very close knit family. Now the child is not, cooperating with me, or the child is not responding in that manner, is not correct. The approach is not correct. Why so? Because problem comes when the child is into a relationship, and naturally he will. I'm not saying about relationship that is about a girlfriend or a boyfriend. No, even friends do matter. In this age, the friends make a lot of difference in their life. So be a part of it. Promote the child. But when the child is wrong, you have all rights to check him, but in a very different manner, because now the child is a grown-up child and he wants to be treated one like. Okay. So the fourth one is ambivalence. So ambivalence is, just the opposite here of affective solidarity. It is a conflicting feeling altogether. Why? Because, it is a sad part, when there is the tussle going on in the family. Like for instance, I have come across some families when the father enters and the boy moves out of the house, just to show respect or whatever maybe. But there is a negative feeling altogether, because there should be a lot of love and gratitude that we are all together. But the sad part is less regard is given to the relationship. What happens is, usually parents end up with a strange relationships tussle is that what I said has to happen my way or the highway. No, no, please. It is a relationship, and don't tackle it in the manner of it's always my way or the highway. This is not the correct approach towards your kids, because you have to have be into that relationship all your life. You can just not let it go just like that. So the best thing is not to think in a very ambivalent way, but to always, because see, conflicting relationships or conflicting feelings about something, it takes the upper hand, and the relationship that you build with your child, the son, the daughter, always is left behind, whereas you take care of the conflicting feeling that you are having right now. That is also a very big issue that has to be taken care of. And usually parents come up with that, see, I was a perfect person. Since I was a perfect person, that does not mean my child has to be one. Give the child his space. See, I have learnt my lessons my way. Okay, so that does not mean that I'll give you one example with it. See, sometimes parents do come up with, see, ma'am, I had been doing this and I came across with certain issues, and I really don't want my child to suffer with all these stuff. That is okay, that's very good. But I think the child has come here on earth with his own, type of life, and he wants to experience that. And you have all, the child in fact has all rights to live that. You cannot expect the child to experience your life and lead his life. Is it correct? No, no. Let the child experience it. Instead, be a wall behind your child, so that whatever may be the scene, you are always with the child. Okay, and give your child the reasons to love you back. Be it your child is 49 years old, so what? But the child should have very good reasons that parents are the foremost important thing for me. Okay, with that I come to an end of my video, and in my next videos, I'll be sharing some very beautiful tips that you will be using and practicing without your children coming in terms what that my mother or the father is practicing something. Okay, till then, bye bye, stay safe, all the best, and do like, share, comment and subscribe.